Randy Mario Poffo, better known by his ring name Macho Man Randy Savage, was born on November 15, 1952, in Columbus, Ohio. He came from a family of athletes, with his father, Angelo Poffo, being a professional wrestler and his brother, Lanny Poffo, also known as Leaping Lanny Poffo, following in his footsteps. Randy's early life was centered around sports, and he was an avid baseball player during his youth. His athleticism earned him a baseball scholarship to the University of Southern Florida, where he played as an outfielder for a brief time in the minor leagues with the St. Louis Cardinals organization. Savage's entry into professional wrestling came in the 1970s when he was trained by his father. However, it wasn't until the early 1980s that he gained recognition on a national level. He began wrestling for the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and other regional promotions, using his athletic background and charisma to establish his persona. By 1985, he signed with the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he adopted the Macho Man moniker, complete with his iconic voice, flamboyant personality, and signature catchphrase, "Ooh yeah." His unique blend of intensity and eccentricity quickly made him a fan favorite. Savage's big break in WWF came when he captured the Intercontinental Championship in 1986, defeating Tito Santana. His rivalry with Hulk Hogan became one of the most memorable storylines of the 1980s. The two faced off in the main event of WrestleMania 3 in 1987, a match that is still widely considered one of the greatest in wrestling history. Despite losing to Hogan, Savage's star power continued to rise. In 1988, he went on to win the prestigious WWF World Heavyweight Championship by defeating the Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase, in the main event of WrestleMania 4, cementing his place as one of the industry's top stars. His reign as champion continued to be marked by high-profile matches, including one against the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7 in 1991. After a short hiatus from the WWF, Randy returned to the ring in 1994, this time in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, where he continued to find success in rivalries, including with Ric Flair and the NWO. In WCW, Savage's persona remained larger than life, and his popularity soared. Savage's wrestling career was not confined to the ring. He also made a name for himself in various other fields, including acting, where he appeared in movies such as Spider-Man 2002, where he portrayed the character Bonesaw McGraw. He also worked as a color commentator for both WWF and WCW, bringing his inimitable style to the broadcast table. In 2000, after a long and successful career, Randy Savage took a step back from wrestling, though he made occasional appearances. His later years were marked by his personal life, which included a marriage to his longtime love, Elizabeth Hewlett, who had also been a key figure in his storylines. The two were often portrayed as a couple on-screen, and their real-life relationship further endeared them to fans. Sadly, Randy Savage passed away on May 20th, 2011, after suffering a heart attack while driving. He lost control of his vehicle, crashing into a tree. He was 58 years old at the time of his death. The wrestling world mourned the loss of one of its brightest and most charismatic stars. Savage was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2015, solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. Randy Savage's influence on professional wrestling is immeasurable. His over-the-top character, memorable promos, and high-energy in-ring style left an indelible mark on the industry. He was one of the pioneers of wrestling's mainstream appeal during the 1980s and 1990s, and remains a beloved figure in the history of the sport. His contributions continue to be celebrated by fans and wrestlers alike. Randy Savage's legacy also extends beyond his own performances. He was instrumental in shaping the characters and the narratives that defined the golden era of professional wrestling. His intense rivalries, especially with stars like Hulk Hogan, Ricky Steamboat, and Ric Flair, helped elevate the drama and spectacle of the sport. His matches with Ricky Steamboat, in particular, are often cited as some of the best technical bouts in professional wrestling history, particularly their iconic showdown at WrestleMania 3, which is still remembered for its pacing, athleticism, and storytelling. Savage's influence on the business was not just limited to his own career. He also helped bring wrestling into mainstream culture. His larger-than-life persona, colorful costumes, and exaggerated catchphrases made him one of the most marketable stars of his time. His charisma and memorable voice made him a perfect fit for commercial endorsements, including his appearances in Slim Jim advertisements. These commercials became hugely popular and contributed to Savage's appeal beyond the wrestling ring, reaching audiences who might not have been familiar with his wrestling career. Despite his larger-than-life image, Randy Savage was known for his serious approach to wrestling and his desire to put on the best performance possible. He was often described by peers as someone who was deeply dedicated to his craft. His commitment to perfection in the ring, from his in-ring psychology to his attention to detail in promos, earned him respect from fellow wrestlers and fans alike. Savage's insistence on delivering a great performance meant that he was constantly pushing the boundaries of what wrestling could be, blending athleticism with showmanship in a way that few others could match. Randy Savage's reputation as an intense, no-nonsense performer was paired with a unique and often unpredictable personality. Outside of the ring, he became known for his enigmatic and eccentric behavior, both in interviews and on television. He would often speak in a rapid, gravelly voice, using his signature "ooh yeah" catchphrase to punctuate his sentences. His promos were filled with energy and intensity, sometimes veering into surreal territory, making him a standout personality in the wrestling world. Fans and even fellow wrestlers found themselves drawn to his unpredictable nature, which kept everyone on their toes. In terms of accolades, Savage's list of championships and accomplishments is long and storied. Beyond his multiple WWE and WCW World Championships, he was also a 4-time WWF Intercontinental Champion, a 2-time WWE Tag Team Champion, and a winner of the 1987 King of the Ring tournament. Savage's influence wasn't just limited to titles. His willingness to elevate others in the ring was another key part of his greatness. Many of his rivalries helped catapult lesser-known wrestlers into superstardom, a testament to his understanding of the bigger picture in professional wrestling. His role in the iconic Mega Powers storyline with Hulk Hogan is another defining chapter of his career. The partnership was one of the most memorable tag team storylines in wrestling history. Fans watched as Savage and Hogan, two of the biggest stars in the industry, united against their enemies, only for the alliance to eventually implode, leading to one of the most heated rivalries in the business. Their breakup at WrestleMania V, where Savage lost the WWE Championship to Hogan, is still talked about by fans as a masterclass in storytelling and character development. Savage's time in WCW was equally impactful. After leaving WWE in 1994, he joined WCW, where he continued to compete at a high level. His feud with Ric Flair, particularly over the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, brought in millions of viewers and helped WCW maintain its competitive edge during the Monday Night Wars against WWE. His association with the NWO New World Order storyline, although more of a peripheral member than a core member, kept him relevant and allowed his star to shine even in the changing landscape of wrestling. In the years following his wrestling career, Randy Savage's name remained synonymous with the golden era of professional wrestling. His presence on social media, through tribute pages and his legendary matches available on WWE Network, kept his memory alive. His influence can still be seen in modern wrestling, with many of today's top stars citing Savage as one of their greatest inspirations. Wrestlers like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena have all credited him with shaping their approach to performance and entertainment. Even after his passing, Randy Savage continues to have a lasting impact on the world of professional wrestling. His contributions to the industry have been recognized in various forms, including his posthumous induction into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2015. This was a fitting tribute to a man who was not only a remarkable athlete, but also a larger-than-life character who will forever be remembered as one of the true icons of professional wrestling. Randy Macho Man Savage remains an indelible figure in pop culture and wrestling history. His combination of athleticism, charisma, and commitment to entertaining his audience set a standard for future generations of wrestlers to follow. His catchphrases, his intense rivalries, and his unmatched passion for his craft will continue to inspire fans and wrestlers alike for years to come. Even as the years pass since his death, Randy Macho Man Savage's legacy endures in numerous ways. His influence extended far beyond the ring, leaving an impact on music, television, and popular culture as a whole. His memorable voice and mannerisms have been referenced in films, television shows, and even in the music industry. Savage's distinctive style continues to be parroted and paid homage to by comedians, artists, and creators who recognize his unique place in entertainment history. His distinct persona, part athlete, part showman, continues to influence how wrestling is presented today, merging spectacle with athletic prowess in ways that are still evolving. Randy's legacy is also reflected in the ongoing reverence from the wrestling community, where he is remembered not only for his championship titles and memorable matches, but for his contributions to the craft. His peerless ability to blend larger-than-life personality with wrestling skill has made him a lasting role model for those who follow in his footsteps. The respect he garnered from both fans and fellow wrestlers is often echoed in interviews, documentaries, and tributes. His ability to connect with an audience, whether as a beloved hero or a hated antagonist, made him one of the most versatile and successful wrestlers to ever step foot in the ring. Moreover, his work ethic continues to inspire. Savage was known for his meticulous attention to detail, whether in developing his character or perfecting his in-ring moves. He was involved in every aspect of his performance, ensuring that his matches and storylines were not only compelling, but also contributed to the overall progression of the wrestling industry. This dedication to his craft has set a standard for future wrestlers, teaching them the importance of commitment, preparation, and understanding how to make every moment in the ring count. In addition to the admiration from the wrestling world, Randy's induction into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2015 was an emotional and meaningful tribute. His family, including his brother Lanny Poffo, joined the wrestling community to honor his memory, acknowledging the profound impact he had on both the industry and those who loved him. Fans and fellow wrestlers alike gathered to celebrate a man whose influence transcended his time in the ring, a testament to the enduring power of his presence. Savage's contributions also live on through the countless moments he created in WWE and WCW. His feuds with legendary figures like Hulk Hogan, Ricky Steamboat, and Ric Flair were central to some of the most exciting and dramatic moments in wrestling history. His ability to make every match feel like a spectacle, regardless of whether he was competing for a championship or settling a personal grudge, helped elevate the art form of professional wrestling. Fans still watch his most iconic matches, and many still consider his match against Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3 as one of the greatest in WWE history. Randy's personal life, too, has been woven into the fabric of his public persona. His on-screen romance with Miss Elizabeth was one of the most beloved storylines in wrestling, and their partnership captured the imagination of millions of fans around the world. Their emotional and heart-wrenching story, which included both the highs of victory and the lows of betrayal, became a staple of WWE storytelling and a reflection of the deep connection that fans could form with their favorite stars. Outside of the ring, his passionate devotion to his craft was mirrored by his love for his family and his friends, and it is clear that his relationships were deeply meaningful to him. Despite the challenges and controversies that came with his larger-than-life persona, Randy Savage's reputation as one of the all-time greats remains intact. His commitment to pushing the boundaries of what was possible in professional wrestling, his undying love for the business, and his ability to connect with fans made him an icon whose impact continues to resonate.